Good morning, brothers and sisters from different chapters and councils in the Philippines. Time for Philippines, it's morning, and then the U.S. now in New Mexico for Mountain Time, it is 6 o'clock evening. Now, this has been your organization's writer, Brad Dale, aka Bethan's Page, signing in for an interview. This is one of the most anticipated interviews. I look forward for years now. Finally, I got him on the other line, virtually connected straight from New Mexico, USA. Of course, none other than, let me introduce to you first and foremost. I'm sure, virtually speaking, you guys are familiar with Brian Gonzalez Kaintik. But beforehand, let me introduce him right now. For the information of the older and younger generation of Beta Sigma Omega Phi Fraternity and Sorority International. So, Brad Brian Gonzalez, or Brad Brian Gonzalez Kaintik, right, is a graduate of Bachelor of Secondary Education in Social Studies at Holy Cross College, Omega Chapter. He became a member of this organization under Omega Chapter in 2002 to 2003. But he survived on October 2nd of 1999. So, makaedad na ganyan na gyud. Okay, now, further in his academic background, Brad Brian, as his units, masters in social studies way back in Holy Cross College. He almost finished it. Thesis na lang kulang. And then right now he is currently enrolled in an online post studies that's with Philippine Christian University Manila with Master in Educational Management. Now, Brad Brian, for the information of everybody, he became a Master of Initiator way back in Holy Cross College, of Davao. And also, he, part of his accomplishment for Beta Sigma Omega Phi, he became an interim Grand National Supreme in 2016 to 2018. This is in compliance of the requirements of our SEC registration back then. That's with the collaborative efforts of Brad Glenn Padernal, who did all the papers endorsement as part of the requirements from Securities and Exchange Commission. Now, Brad Brian was elected as Grand National Supreme in 2018 of Beta Sigma Omega Phi Fraternity and Sorority in the Philippines. Now, 2019, for better opportunities, for a greener pasture, now he grabbed the opportunity to went straight to the U.S. in New Mexico to take that job in a teaching profession. Now he's been in the U.S. now for 4 years, and eventually still in that teaching profession as history instructor. Ladies and gentlemen, Brad Brian Gonzalez has so much done for the organization of Beta Sigma Omega Phi. Now, as I recall, and based on my research, Brad Brian co-authored the amendments of our CBL with Brad Wilfred Lopez. Just to, for the record, Brad Wilfred Lopez authored the Rites of Passage, and Brad Brian Gonzalez Kaintik co-amended the Executive Committee, Council, National Convention, as well as Article of Board of Directors. He also co-authored the firstborn of the Article 4, and the Article 4 for honorary members of this organization, for membership under that Article 4. Article 5. And also, Brad Brian Gonzalez also crafted the article for firstborn and honorary membership, just to be more specific on that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor and to welcome you straight from New Mexico, USA, Brad Brian Gonzalez Kainti. Brad, maayong gabi diha for
Ma
your time.
Yep, yeah, maayong buntag po diha sa Pilipinas.
It is my honor to finally have this interview with you. Finally, I hook you over the phone for this.
Mhm.
We've been waiting for this interview virtually. I'm sorry for the technology, and I'm using not so excellent, right? But it's good to know that we are virtually connected straight from the New Mexico, USA. Okay, Brad, let's just cut the chase. I wanna ask from you, how are you after 2019 when you left USA, leaving Beta Sigma Omega Phi? Uh, as for others, that there's so much thing to do, but you left us.
Yeah.
Kamusta?
Yeah, I left for my job here in the US now, as you said, for greener pasture
Mhm,
and for my professional development as a teacher.
mhm,
I left Berens as a Grand National Supreme at the time, and
mhm,
yeah, I feel guilty with that.
mhm, mhm,
But still, despite the fact that I left Betans, but I'm still connected with Brad Dave Castro and other board of directors of the organization. Yeah, actually, during the election of 2018 National Convention, I told the members at the time that, hey,
mhm.
I'll be leaving next year, so don't ever nominate me for that position. And take note, I'm only an interim, so no need for me to be an officer or to
Mm-mm-mm. But
yeah
you were
like in the
elected
organization.
back then when you were an interim Grand National Supreme in 2016 to 2018. You were then
Yeah,
elected right by
2018.
through election right in
Yeah, exactly.
2018 and became officially as the elected Grand National Supreme
National
of
Supreme.
Beta Sigma Omega Phi,
Yeah,
right? Okay.
during 2018 Second National Convention. Yeah.
Mm-mm. All right. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, Brad. So, you mentioned earlier that though you were out of the country for almost 4 years now, as
Yeah.
for record. Now, you mentioned that you still keeping them in the loop. Well, in fact, you have your still your communication open to Brad Dave, who you once designated as the national designated president of Beta Sigma Omega Phi, correct?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Now, tell us more about your plans, Brad, for the organization. We know for the fact that that was just a designation that you've given an opportunity, Dave Castro, to lead the organization, the national organization. Um, However, although it's not in the bylaws stated or stipulated, but we know for the fact, if we understand it right, if we review the bylaws, you still have the full rights and power to lead Beta Sigma Omega Phi once you get back in the Philippines. Are there
Yeah.
plans maybe to pursue that? What are your plans about it?
For the Betans growth, or like for the development of the Betans, that you mean, Brad? Right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
You still have, if once you get back in the Philippines, uh, from my own standpoint, you still have the power,
The power,
right, to
exactly.
hold the national position as
Exactly.
the
Yeah.
elected Grand National Supreme. So, I'll eventually you'll get back in the Philippines in July. So, do you have plans to pursue that power vested in you?
Um. Uh. So what should I say? For now, I'm happy with my like position as um no longer a Grand National Supreme. But as I said, it's I felt guilty for 4 years of
Mm-hmm.
not leading the organization. Put Betans into like hanging for a couple of years. Um, yeah, I don't know if I would, since October will be the third national convention, so I still have like I will be going home this June. So June, July, August, September. So 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
if I would, I could probably be a president back for that position. But I don't know, Brad, if I would be a Grand National Supreme again. Anyway, it's 4 months. I'm looking forward for that. Who would be the next Grand National Supreme?
Do you
Yeah,
think that
for your
it's
question,
timely?
it's hanging.
Yeah, do you think it's timely and relevant to elect a new president, or let's leave it to the young generation of leaders?
Yes, Brad. We
Mm-mm.
need that. Um, para na po'y mugunit sa atong organization as kana bang committed yung kayo ba? So siguro at that time, 2018 convention, kasi my plan was to go to the US in 2019. So, mara gito ang tanong nga, before I left Philippines to the US, so dapat plaster lang, masing gamay lang nga plaster ang organization, okay na gito kayo.
That's exactly
And
right.
but unfortunately, they elected me as the Grand National Supreme, and I thought to myself, kaya pa ba na ko ni gunitan nga mulakaw naman ko og that time ba although we have already the virtual or the technology, but dili siya option that time, right? Kay ni kusog naman gyud ang virtual thing, Zoom, whatever app is that.
Exactly.
Karon naman pag pandemic, di ba?
That's
Murag
right, that's
kusog siya
right.
ba? That time Skype naman to in town. But during the pandemic, naman sila Google Meet, so and different apps. So kung kahibaw lang ko nga ana di ay ang virtual is sa atong communications power gyapon, probably I don't know, wala unta ko ni hawa. Pero yeah, aside from that, my personal decision, my wife also told me na Brad, Pang, you were so stressed for how many years in the organization. I know you love your frat, pero it's time to focus your personal ano naman. But anyway, I
Career.
can manage myself.
Yeah,
Actually,
yes.
that time.
But Brian,
I can manage myself.
so I know you've once crafted and helped amended some articles sa atong organizations, especially sa bylaws nato. Now, if you were as an author yourself of this bylaws, if you were to discard and amend, right, some say articles of our CBL, what would it be?
For the upcoming third convention,
That's
possible,
correct. Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Probably just to strengthen some articles of council. Okay, to make it
So
clear.
what strengthening articles of some councils are we referring to?
Possible, Brad. For me, I know possible to add a specific alumni organization as alumni association or alumni council would be a separate what do you call that article, probably separate article, and alumni organization is an independent separate entity from the organization na dili siya under sa chain of command from the National Council President. Nasa hiwalay na linya.
That makes sense. That makes sense, but it would probably create more ideas to bring in, right, on a table. Like I don't want to talk about this, but since I got you na straighten out a line, so probably if you'll be creating or maybe amending, say a certain article, right, that allows or that separates alumni association, so pasok or dili mo pasok ba diha si Davao alumni council that was just created.
You mentioned the Metro Davao
The Metro
Council, right?
Davao, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Actually, before pa 2018 pa, actually before ang second national convention of 2018, and then through benchmarking of other organization, Philippine-based fraternity, US-based fraternity, naagit sila separate entity of alumni association. So alumni association, ang the function of alumni association is more on foundation ba to support scholarship of the members, to support as the Metro Davao Council, which I love I like
The
the
idea of,
proposal of the, I mean,
oh,
their mission
mm,
sa mga brad na pwede ng mga nagkasakit, anana.
mm,
So with that, at least naa siya separate sect possible if possible. Just like other frat, there
mm,
are some alumni organization na separate siya as entity, pero those members are still part of the Betans 1968. But they have, what do you call that? Yeah, as I said, separate entity. They have to create possible short bylaws for them, for the alumni
mm,
associations, with the aim of supporting, scholarship members, scholarships sa mga members, financially na separate siya. Okay?
Okay, Brad, let me cut you off on that. So, having
Okay.
said that, are you somehow saying that the Metro Davao Alumni Council is kind of a bit violating, not really, I'm sorry for using the word violation, maybe because it has been deliberated and approved by,
Yeah,
right,
okay.
by the board of directors, sis, and the national council officials as well, in the presence of sis Amy, Brad Dave, Brad Boyet, and Brad Romeo. These are the approving authorities
Okay.
of that deliberation. So after they have it deliberated and approved, it was then sent, right, and counter signed, right, by them to formally approve the Metro Davao Alumni Council.
Mhm.
So what's your take on that?
Yeah, when I've read their proposal with the letter, so I saw there's a good side of remission, but the problem there is in our 2018 constitution and bylaws, murag wala na ko siya nakita ang pag-create of alumni, murag alumni council as under the council. Wala na ko siya nakita. And
Okay.
then wala siya naka-stipulate yata sa bylaws pa.
Mm-hmm.
Yata. And then
So-
I don't know if nakakabutan pa budiha nga ay di ko siya sure kasi wala ko copy mo gud ron dire. I don't think so if like for example nakabutang ba dito na alumni members those who are graduate of the organization would become alumni. Nana sa bylaws, klaro man na.
Yes.
Pero wala
It's
nakabutang yata dito na alumni members can create an alumni association na for the purpose of wala na sa bylaws kinakita. Wala. I like the initiative of what they put there in the letter. Moto siya nga naalang siya matawag na conflicting nasa ka ng conflicting authority over the members of Betans in Davao. Ana ako nakita lang ba?
Let me get back. As far as I remember, well, I guess we're actually pointing out, and let's get back to the Article 5 membership here. You mentioned that I still believe Section 2.
Okay.
If I recall, it is stated that college members of these fraternity and sorority shall become alumni members when they leave college or university. You pointed out earlier, and you said, yeah, that's correct. Every on the Section 2 alumni members on the third bullet, if I recall, every alumna member may participate in the alumni program of the fraternity and sorority. He or she is encouraged to participate full in the rights and privileges of membership by affiliating with the regularly organized alumni council in the area of his or her residence. I think bupasok diya si Kwan. Bupasok diya si Metro Davao alumni, right? Kaya ano man, every alumnus or alumna member may participate in the alumni program of the fraternity and sorority. So we know for the fact nga si Metro Alumni Davao is an initiative that could contribute of the alumni program, and these alumni members are the ones initiating it. So mupasok siya sa Section 2 of alumni members sa Article 5 membership.
Okay, is that the 2018 Brad, no? Is that the 2018?
Yes, that's correct.
So maybe probably my copy was my copy here dili dili siya ang final. Brad,
Mm-mm.
kana namang gani mo kita ka sa atong GC dito na Brad Dave, can I have the copy without the watermark?
Yes, yes. Oh.
Yeah. So siguro kani ako naka watermark pa man ni basig baot ni anyway. Kasi mo ni sa ang concern ako ba kung kopya sa kato kining wala pa na finalize atong kan. So nakabutang diha Brad na ano may program. Nakabutang gid siya.
Okay,
okay. So
if
yeah,
you will interpret that, that could probably their basis to create
Okay.
Metro, Davao Metro alumni, right?
Okay. So
Such council. That's what I've read, and that's my own understanding.
Okay.
But still, it's gonna be under deliberation, put and interpretation from our national officials and the members of the board of directors of this organization. Okay, Brad, going back.
ang ang gibutang niya program laman no, pero wala pa nakabutang na nakabutang din sa alumni. Pakibasa ba balik?
Okay, sure. I'll read it back to you for the record. Section 5 membership, right? Of Section 2, third bullet of alumni members. Every alumnus or alumna member may participate in the alumni program of the fraternity and sorority. He or she is encouraged to participate fully in the rights and privileges of membership by affiliating with a regularly organized alumni council in the area of his or her residence.
Okay. Okay.
So that could
So,
probably be their basis pod sa kuan sa why they've created, why they've come up with that Metro Davao Alumni Council, right?
So yeah. So they will be focusing on the alumni programs, and the Davao City Council will remain as the overseer of the collegiate members
Exactly.
and other also alumni members. Yeah, but the activity for some alumni programs should be done or should be done by the alumni Metro Davao Alumni Council.
That's
It's
correct.
okay. Yeah.
Yes. Brad, so now
Na
you
naman din sa diha. So di na kailangan din mo kanog separate alumni what do you call that? Alumni association dito sa separate kanang separate entity. So possible wala na din
That's
siya
correct.
kana naman din sa
Because I
bylaws.
reviewed the bylaws before I have this interview with you. I reviewed it for a couple of nights to make sure at least I'll be ready to what questions or clarifications I should be asking from you, and as our former right grand right national supreme of Beta Sigma Omega Phi. So Brad, anything would like to hear from you? You'll be hitting back Philippines in Davao in July, and more likely you'll be attending Bitan Olympics. What can you
Yep.
expect from your presence then?
Yeah, as a simple member na nasa kilid lang, anak lang gud ang entrada. Ano lang Brad? Expected, yeah, I will participate that. I will play basketball representing Davao City Council, and then
So you can still manage it. How old are you?
I'm turning 42. Muna giingon nga.
Kita ra ida-idara ba?
Ang
Tiguan mo kita.
ang huna-huna Brad naa pa.
Yes,
Amot
yes.
lang ka ang kusog ani.
That's right.
Muna giingon nga. Pasig lima kadagan, mangit ako sung ba nga saba na pa ninyo. Puta, matay ko daganan eh.
Kita ra yung idara. I mean, if I recall back then when we were still on Friendster till such
Yeah,
time,
2006,
you know,
2007, something like that, yeah.
that's a long time
Surprise
ago.
ko nga na kay post that time, uy. Actually, Brad, kato nga time pagkalan ko, uy, naaday bukid dun nga. Kasi I was thinking, ang betas ka lang. Bohol, Davao, Jensen, and then the southern.
Mm.
Nakita na kayo mga post ko, uy, naaday bukid nun.
So that was way back year, I guess 2006,
Fresh
right?
graduate po ka ato.
Yeah, the
2006,
time.
Before Facebook.
Yes, before I pursued my journalism sa PUP Manila. So, no, kanang how days flew too fast. I mean, who would have thought na until this time we are virtually connected. Since then, sa Friendster pa, until such time, the social media evolved to Facebook, Twitter, and all that, you know. Anyway, Brad, let me just ask one more question for you. Uh, so you have a 21-year-old son, right? Your
Mm-hmm.
firstborn, right? Now, we know and you know for the fact na expectations masaya taas kayo once he'll take that opportunity or
Mm-hmm.
maybe a chance, you know, to lead Davao City Council or any chapter related to that. Because of course you are Brian, you know, Kainte Gonzalez, you are someone sa organization of Beta Sigma Omega Phi, and that will be forever remembered, right? When you know,
Mm-hmm.
when history, right, starts, right, to evolve, right, in the next few decades, few years, right, for the organization's existence. Now, uh, were you able to somehow talk to your son, right, who is a nursing student now, a
Yeah.
21-year-old, about any nga organization, and you know, as a successor? I mean,
Yeah.
Brian Gonzalez Kaintik is Brian Gonzalez sa Beta Sigma Omega Phi. We acknowledge that, and we thank you for your efforts all these years organization. Does he have plan to at least take your, you know,
Yeah.
take the baton, di ba?
Take the baton, yeah. Passing the torch, probably. I don't know.
Oo, oo.
Yeah, when I asked him like 2 years ago, or yeah, when he started to take nursing, because he will be third year this they come August. Actually, I asked him, isa nga, mardilit lang sa kupang, dilit lang ko anak pang kay ano daw,
Mm-mm-mm.
ang lagi na ang commitment, ana-ana. Nga ay siya nga gahit biya ka sa betans pang, unya
Exactly, oh.
basig dili ko
Ma-match your
ma-active
expectations.
expectations ako mo ginang tubag niya nga basig di ako magkampanan ang ako ang
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
pagka-member unya alanganin sa daw siya. Ikaw, you know what, Nak? It's a privilege kay ritual na mong ihatag sa imuha
Exactly.
with the ceremony headed by the Ground Council Supreme, and you know you can pioneer UIC. You can
Exactly.
start
And the
with
fact
the
that at this
chapter
time,
there.
bro, no, the fact at this time that he need not be, you know, undergoing the traditional process that we've gone before, nga gipang bunog ta, gipang
Ganit,
wala ta tayong maayo back then sa atong mga sa atong
talong-talong ang
panahon.
paa.
Right? Maybe that's something that you would consider as well, looking on the other side of the coin. Diba?
Exactly. Yeah, and then when I asked my wife, sa ayun na sa mukha yung life nga
Okay,
nga
okay.
kanang anak nga life. So kaya yeah, to be a member, we all know that na after you mo divide ang time, 100 like family, studies, and the next would be organization. Diba? So kung
Exactly.
imo yung i-rank ang imong priorities ba? So family,
Yes.
studies, and then third would be organization or fraternity. Inana yung commitment yun ka bugat, no?
That's right.
Bugat for them, pero sa ato ang mga member, probably bugat sa mga members, pero sa kuang namanis pa na ko, even when I was
Exactly.
teaching whole day in a public school and then part-time college instructors in the evening.
You
Nakamaris gyapon ako
wore
ang
many
attendance,
hats
yeah.
back then sa atong
Yeah,
time, di ba?
nag-anak ko siya time to mingle with the brats, you know, to mingle with the sisters na kanabang camaraderie na yeah, we are not biologically brothers and sisters, but because we have the common goal with our organization. Naatay isa ka, although we have different perspective, conflict, argumentation, discussions are always dynamism
Exactly,
in the
right.
fraternity.
And I agree with
Kaya
that.
ako ang kumongyot, we have different way of love to our organization.
That's
Mo na
correct.
nga anak ka passion,
Yes.
pakipagdebate, basta dila nothing personal gina.
Yeah, nothing personal, exactly. Like what we had, right? We had arguments back then on Facebook. You know, the thread
Facebook, but
was
never
just
personally.
But I did not take it personally.
Because ang atong goal or objective with our debate is for the organization man, nothing personal.
Exactly, strictly for the organization.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
We have different passion, we have different kind of love approach sa ato ang gugma sa ato ang fraternity. Mo nang makahatag itag brilliant na mga ideas, opposing ideas, but at the end of the day, let's go back and reflect and go back to the interest, the principles of the organization. balik kita dito kanunay.
Absolutely.
Mga ganun siya.
Thank you so much, Brad Brian Gonzalez Kaintik. What an opportunity to have this interview with you.
I appreciate it, yes, Brad.
Virtually. I really appreciate that, ladies and gentlemen. Betans from different chapters and countries in the Philippines and around the globe. There you have it. Our very own Brad Brian Gonzalez Kaintik, straight from New Mexico, United States of America, for this virtual interview with him. We thank him for this opportunity, the time that he spent, although he has a lot of things to do, load of tasks to do tonight, but still he gave us his time to conduct an interview with him. Kumustawa nato una-unsa na ang atong former Grand Supreme, right? Of Beta Sigma Omega Phi national level, right? Thank you, Brad Brian. I really appreciate. Hope to see you. Look forward to meet you in person in Davao. I'll be attending the Bitan Olympics 2023. So see you. I hope you'll see there in person finally for over decades.
Yeah.
Right?
For 1.5 decade.
Tiguang na kita, Brad. Tiguang na ta. Thank you, Brad Brian. I really appreciate that. Long live ni Budiha. And again, I appreciate your time for this interview. Long live Brad Brian.
Long live Brad.
Thank you. You take care and bye for now.
Thank you for your time and effort. Yeah,
sure,
thank you.
sure.
I appreciate it.
All right, welcome.